can't tell what the time is. Got a pocket full of
40.
People online?
Mm-hmm.
How much in our chat already? Oh, wait a minute.
It's right. Right. Hello, everyone. We're off to a late start, but while we wait, please enjoy this rendition of Mortimer by our steel pan player. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 15th staging of the UWISTAT AGM and award ceremony under the theme Celebrating the Legacy.
Advancing the Family.
I'm Javon Gordon.
And I'm Samuel Campbell.
And we'll be your host for this evening. Tamar, we've been in UWISTAT for over a year now. How has the journey been?
I swear, Jeff, it has been quite an incredible journey. I think UWISTAT is just the epitome of leadership, development, and it's a place where you can have a lot of fun. Personally, some of the objectives of UWISTAT, I've actually really been a part of it, whether it be through climate change resilience or disaster mitigation, or just fostering Pelican pride. And plus, I can attest to the fact that you look quite cute in a UWISTAT shirt and can post it on IG. But the perks are kind of all there.
Yes. I must say I share the same sentiments. Being a part of UWISTAT is something wonderful, and it has cultivated leaders across the whole Caribbean and will continue to do so. I know you've missed the sign-up period, but you have next year, so just sign up. So we're starting off the ceremony in the right way. So we welcome Patrice Clayton, who will be doing the prayer.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Okay. So, Lord, we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here once more. We want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to celebrate something amidst what we're going through. And above all, we hope that whatsoever we may do today, it will be done in a spirit of excellence, and it will be done to your honor and to your glory. These and other mercies we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And now that our ceremony has been blessed, we'll now turn over to Mrs. Celia Davidson Francis, who is the Regional Alumni Director, for greetings and welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. As you know, I'm the Director and Regional Coordinator of the UWISTAT Core, and the Core is we have this afternoon one of our special founding ambassadors is going to be taking part in the program, and I'm absolutely delighted. As you all probably know, UWISTAT is a unique core. It's unlike the other student associations because you have to apply, you have to be selected, you have to be trained, and then you have to be inducted, after which you serve and become an alumni ambassador upon graduation. So it's a lifelong commitment. And as STAT says, or stands for, students today, alumni tomorrow. As UWISTAT ambassadors, you really embody the essence and soul of what is required to be a young leader and to make an impact. And as you graduate and succeed, I'm sure that you will also become wonderful alumni ambassadors. I'm confident that you will ensure that UWI remains a university with regional and global impact and visibility. I really am also very proud of the fact that UWISTAT is a leadership incubator. There are many alumni ambassadors all over the world excelling, and the awards that are going to be presented this afternoon, I believe, reflect the hard work and dedication, as well as the altruism and volunteerism of the UWISTAT core. I have been at the UWI now in this position for 15 years, and UWISTAT has been around for 14 of them. And during that time, I'm very proud to say that our ambassadors have received 10 Rhodes Scholarships, British Chevening Scholarships, quite a few, and many other scholarships as well. And in fact, in 2019, 3 alumni ambassadors received Chevening Scholarships from the UK government to study at the master's level. There have also been ambassadors who've been Commonwealth Youth Ambassadors and Queen's Young Leaders. And we have alumni ambassadors, as I said before, all over the world in many leadership positions. And I wanted to give you an example of some of them. Shortly, you should be seeing one right here from Jamaica, the Honorable Floyd Green, who is now our Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries. He is going to be our esteemed guest speaker. He's a founding UWISTAT ambassador. He worked with me to bring my idea of having an ambassadorial corps to fruition. Franz George has just been awarded a 2020 Chevening Scholarship. He is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he actually called me just recently to say how much STAT has meant for his career path and development, and he is, as all alumni ambassadors are, willing to help current alumni ambassadors through mentorship and through introducing them to his networks. Rachel Boyce is an alumni ambassador who is a lawyer and our UEAA contact for California. We have Helen Morian, who is the deputy mayor of Port of Spain in Trinidad. Stuart Howard is the managing director of British Caribbean Bank in Turks and Caicos. And we have Dwayne Haynes, who is right here with us in the room, who is now president of the UEAA Jamaica chapter. And he has increased the visibility and involvement of the Jamaica chapter amazingly. And the list goes on. So just this year as well, I established the Young Alumni Advocates, who are alumni ambassadors, and they operate regionally and internationally as an active resource network and promote alumni engagement. So they're going to be hosting the inaugural Soft and Life Skills Conference at the end of next month. And that is a part of the Pelican Perks Advantage program. And I hope that many persons will take advantage of it, especially the UWISTAT ambassadors. So I am expecting all of you current ambassadors to be part of the Young Alumni Advocates and to make a very impactful entry into the professional world. Before I talk to you about you as a regional core and the Mona Core specifically, I just wanted to mention two persons who really helped the STAT core, along with myself, Karina Dice, who is the Campus Alumni Officer for Mona, who also assists me in coordinating the regional core, and Alison Fung, who is the Vice Chancellor's Executive Assistant, who was around at the beginning when the core was started under Vice Chancellor Emeritus Professor E. Nigel Harris, and she is always available and continues to support the core. So I'd just like to give a shout out to her and thank her for always being part of the core. In fact, the ambassadors from time to time refer to her as the godmother of the core and me as the mother of the core. So I think they probably think we're pretty okay. Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick overview of things that the Mona Core has been involved in over the past year. You'll probably hear a little bit more, but I just wanted to highlight that I'm very proud of the fact that ambassadors from Mona represented the UWI and their campus at the 6th Caribbean Youth Leaders Summit in Trinidad last December, and also in the Global Goals Summit 2020 in January in Kuala Lumpur. Ambassador David Thomas was inaugurated as a 2020 Global Action Ambassador there, and he also won the prize for Best SDG Idea Pitch, which I think is fabulous. Ambassador Ashage Cowell received the 2019 Jamaican Prime Minister's Youth Award for Leadership in December 2019, and you all have done many more programs and initiatives. So continue to represent and to excel. I know that I'm sure more will be said about your role in climate change resilience and the fact that as a regional core, you're responsible for footprints to start the tradition of giving back to alma mater. So each of us as Pelicans can assist the next generation of UWI Pelicans. I'm especially proud of the UWISTAT core COVID-19 response. All the ambassadors, when the pandemic broke, wanted to ensure that students had access to data and laptops when the virtual move happened. And the Mona Core, for example, was able to rally and very quickly collect $35,000, which they were able to hand over to the UWI Alumni Association Jamaica chapter, who already had also started on this initiative. And they worked together to help them. And I believe it was over 200 students that you were able to help. So that was an amazing feat. So I just want to say that I encourage you all to continue to make a positive difference. You make excellence your norm. I'm very proud of all of you, and I know that you are all deserving of these awards. So my heartiest congratulations to James as the president and his executive, and to all the ambassadors of the Mona Core.
Thank you, Mrs. Francis, for that overwhelming experience as the UWISTAT core. And in listen to that speech, tomorrow, you know that UWISTAT produces nothing but excellence.
I agree, it's quite an incubator and a hotbed of ingenuity, giving back through altruism, and it's just for you to really step up and to unearth the potential. So I think UWISTAT has been doing a great job.
Yes, and I want persons on Zoom to use the emoji and give a round of applause for everybody who has achieved countless achievements under the UWISTAT core, because we have we have incubated excellence and the training process. Let me tell you about the training process. The training process will help you to hone the skills that you have, leadership, public speaking, and so much more. So use the emojis in the Zoom chat and give a round of applause to everyone. And in the room too, we give a round of applause. Covered everyone. So we're moving on to the man that is charged with the family business this year, and that's none other than Mr. James Peart.
Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for streaming in from whatever country it is that you are, whether it's from our sister cores at UWISTAT KP, UWISTAT Open Campus, UWISTAT St. Augustine, or even right here from UWISTAT Mona. Since its inception at January 23, 2006, the UWISTAT Mona and its regional sisters have been on a course towards continuous development within the Caribbean, not only of the youth, which we mentor and develop, but towards an overarching goal of creating a better Caribbean for all. For this academic year, the 2020-21 Executive Committee has been charged with garnering the whole morale and continued development of the family business. So, if you think you know the family business, share your favorite comments in the YouTube channel, on the Zoom, or from whatever device it is that you're sharing in here from. If you know a lot more about UWISTAT, UWISTAT has main overarching mandates, whether it's from climate change and disaster mitigation, to programming and volunteerism, towards alumni relations, or even CARICOM relations. Over the last year, being a former member of the executive of the 2019-2020, we've seen numerous initiatives being born from innovation and from putting out sheer soul into these ideas. We've seen the whole tree planting initiative from the climate change and disaster mitigation portfolio. We've seen the Carrier Penpal Com initiative from the CARICOM Relations portfolio, where different UA students from whatever or whichever university was able to not only be a University of the West Indies in name, but a University of the West Indies in practice, putting these morals and goals to action. And as the president for this academic year and leading the family business, we promise and endeavor to continue on this trend and to develop on the family business.
Thank you so much, James. I think everyone would have just kind of felt and resonated with what you were saying. Can just put a star in the chat, everyone? Star for James and star for everybody so far. And now we've heard about tree planting initiatives, Foot for Youth, Carrier Penpal, and all the great things that Star has been doing. But now we're going to relax a little bit and just kind of settle ourselves to the melodic beats of our steel pan player. So right now, let's just kind of kick back and have our steel pan player grace us with his lovely presence. Yeah.
All right, so we're experiencing some technical difficulties, but don't worry, we'll have the melodic vibes back again for you all. So we're moving into the awards and certificates. So we're going to present, stat is not a bagamore, we actually do the work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you see the fruits of our labor with footprints and carry your pen pal. Your pen pal come on others. And last year, we have been a part of the initiative. We have been a part of the visits to some of the incorporate youth in voter apathy and climate change. Person created or give off themselves to the service, who are the top VPs last year that worked very hard for the fruition of the projects. And you have awards for the members themselves, because we had some great members last year, some great ambassadors, and we have to award them. We wish we could award all of them because all of them did well, but we'll have to pick some, right, Tamara?
Absolutely. I think it's great when persons can be recognized for the good things that they have done. And that is about that, giving the recognition that is truly deserved for ardent work and for passion and resilience. And quite frankly, I think it's quite great. Plus, you guys can upload your LinkedIn because you got a new certificate. But more so, be proud in the fact that you did something and did something great. Jeff, my Carrier Pen Pal initiative was really helpful to me. My pen pal was from Trinidad, and I've never had anybody from Trinidad before. And we talk regularly every day. And that's just the abundant opportunities that you get when you're in a space. And that's what I love with STAT. It's not just huddling young people together, but you've understood that these people have initiative, they have drive, but it's also giving them opportunities to jump in and to be their best selves and to expand. And that's amazing. I wish a lot more youth organizations would take a leap out of STAT's course. So because the reality is that young people's talents and drive, it must be utilized and it must be untapped. And I am so grateful and appreciative for an initiative and for a program like UWISTAT that aims to do this over and over again.
And that is what sets us apart, Tamwa. It's not only a university club. It's not only recognized within the University of the West Indies space. It is recognized across the Caribbean, and we are grateful for that. Anywhere you can see come from UWISTAT, you have the links. You have the links.
All right, guys. So now we're gonna go back to our vibesy moment, and our steel pan performance is gonna take us to just a chillax move.
Interesting. All right, I know some of you are at your home now doing, dancing and everything, but we're here. The moment everyone is here, 4 has arrived. So the son of St. Elizabeth has an outstanding academic track record with his foundation being laid at Monroe College, then further nurtured at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. At UWI Mona, he read for a degree in history and a minor in political science. While there, he was able to combine academic pursuit with his love for service and serve the students in his capacities of Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson of the Guild of Students and Vice President of the Guild of Students.
He embodies the motto of his alma mater, Monroe College, and in so doing, his light has not been hidden. Thus, his service and leadership abilities transcended the Jamaican shores and onto the Barbadian shores, where he undertook his studies in the field of law. There, he achieved the rare feat of a Jamaican being elected the president of the Cave Hill Guild of Students. He has also served as the U.S. Student Ambassador to the University of Costa Rica and as valedictorian of the University of Virgin Islands Future Global Leaders Institute. He was also awarded his Bachelor of Law degree with honors in 2006.
He has been involved in serving the people around him, and this service has not gone unnoticed as he has been bestowed with a number of awards, including the UWI Mona Award for Service, the Guild of Students Award for Outstanding Leadership, and both the Mona and Caveville campuses, the Joseph S. Archibald QC Prize in Alternative Dispute Resolution from the UWI Caveville, and the Kingsley Cooper Bursary for Intellectual Property from the Norman Manley Law School.
He was also admitted to the Jamaican Bar on the 20th day of November 2008, and is an associate of Wentworth S. Charles and Company, now in his 6th year of practice.
A keen desire to see the betterment of his country also led this notable gentleman, Floyd, to be a founding member of the Mona Campus Youth League, which was the first chapter established for Generation 2000, the young professional affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party.
He was elected the president of Generation 2000 in June 2012 and appointed junior shadow spokesperson for the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy. On Sunday, July 20th, 2014, his political journey saw him being chosen as the Jamaican Labour Party candidate for the constituency of Southwest St. Elizabeth.
Now, in February of 2006, he has elected Member of Parliament for the Southwest St. Elizabeth, and having served as a Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information with specific responsibility for youth portfolio.
As of February 2019, Minister Floyd Green served in the capacity of Minister of State in the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture, and Fisheries. Following his re-election as Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Elizabeth on September 3rd, 2020, Minister Floyd Green has been appointed as the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries.
Now, persons in the room and on Zoom, give a round of applause for Honorable Floyd Green.
All right. Thank you very much to everybody. Celia, David Francis, it is always a pleasure to see you. Other members of the UWISTAT executive, president, incoming, other members of the team. One, I'm very, very happy to be here. I think, firstly, I'm sure in the virtual space, they're really applauding our host. I was watching you as I was driving over, and you guys are very engaging, and you're doing a really good job. So I will do it for very well done. I know these are different times, and as such, we have to take a different approach, and I really want to commend you with that firstly on ensuring that even though we are amid challenging times, that they have not allowed those challenging times to stop their passion, to stop their drive, and to stop their opportunities for engaging our young people. I think this is a great way to engage young people. A lot of organizations will probably threw their hands up in the air and said, boy, we're not going to go forward with our award ceremony. We're not going to have people. We're not going to be able to engage. But you have recognized and understood that we have to shift into the virtual world and that we can still engage. We can still show our regard and our respect. We can still say thank you for your service. And I think that's what you're doing here today. And I really, really want to commend you. Clearly, I am absolutely honored. I am feeling especially blessed to be here at UWISTAT. This is actually my first presentation as Minister of Agriculture. I think it is really quite fitting that my first presentation is with UWISTAT, an organization which I know have a long history with. Seems like I'm getting a little old. It was an organization which I was happy to be a part of the team that saw to the founding of the organization. And as such, to see 15 years later, I can return, but in a different capacity. It is really an honor, and I'm really humbled that you would have invited me to be here and share. Clearly, I understand that in the virtual space, attention span is even shorter than in real life. So I will quickly address just a few things. I'll not hold you for too long. I'm trying to keep it within a short time frame. It's a pity that we won't be able to have a little question and answer and interaction, because that's what I would have really loved. But what I would say is that if you have questions, feel free to use your handles to share it with the UWISTAT team. They'll pass it on or share it through my pages, Floyd Green JA, on IG and on Twitter, and I'll be sure to answer. It's amazing when you reflect 15 years later that we would be here now with an organization that is still vibrant and active across all our campuses, and it has tremendously expanded. When we sat down, at the time, we were 3 young presidents across 3 campuses. The year before, when I had served on the GIL, I was vice president. When I was here at Mona, I was vice president of that GIL. And we had at the time decided that it was time that the GIL councils come together to lobby for issues that affected each other. And we came up with the Intercampus GIL Council, the first regional body of GIL councillors. And we started to have meetings of GIL councillors. So during my time when I became president of the GIL, at that time I was president of the GIL of Cave Hill. I had gone to study law and had actually just done a little less than a year before deciding that I should run for president. That's an entirely different story that we'll take at a different time. But I was fortunate enough to get the support of the students. At that time, Fallon Lachman Singh was president of the GIL in St. Augustine in Trinidad, and Richard Toomer was president of the GIL in Mona here in Jamaica. And we were all in Barbados for the August for the Intercampus GIL Council. And UWI was going through a very interesting change because we had a new vice chancellor, Vice Chancellor E. Nigel Harris, who very early as he came in wanted to meet with all of us. And he sat and met with all of us, and we had a long conversation about the GIL, the university. I think because of Professor Harris's background, one of the things that was very near and dear to him was how students felt about their university. And he gave us an opportunity to speak quite frankly about how we felt about our university. And as student leaders, man, did we give it to him. We told him about all the issues we were having, and that, as presidents, one of the things that we felt is that we don't feel that students at UWI have a sense of connection to their institution. They don't exhibit a sense of pride in saying that they went to the University of the West Indies. We were very different. Clearly, if you go and run for student GIL and for president, then you must have a certain attachment to the institution. And I found that Richard, Fallon, and I definitely were very passionate about serving the university and wanted to see the university do well and believing that if the university do well, the students do well. And as such, we got to talking, we shared Professor Harris, we went back, we had our intercampus guild council, and we actually put pen to paper in relation to some of the issues. And I, as you know, people quarrel with me sometimes about not throwing away stuff, but I am really bad at deleting emails. And in fact, I checked and I actually came across the email that we sent to Professor Harris, which was a very long time ago. It was actually, let's see if I can bring that back up. But it was actually the 24th of June, 2005, that we wrote to Prof outlining a lot of the concerns that we had in relation to the campuses and in relation to just student-centeredness and the customer-friendly nature of the university. And coming out of those discussions and the subsequent discussions that we had and Prof's own mind in relation to what he wanted to formulate and how he wanted to ensure that students were engaged, came UWISTAT. UWISTAT, our regional ambassador corps, that was supposed to, one, search for students who are really passionate about their institution, really passionate about service, really passionate about regional integration. And at that time, we were very worried about some of the trends we saw in the university regarding the universities individually going in their own separate ways. And we wanted to reverse that or modify that by ensuring that we had a core set of people who would keep regional integration alive. And as such, things evolved and UWISTAT was born. UWISTAT students today, alumni tomorrow. And we were given the honor of being the founding members, all three presidents, of being at the launch, speaking at the launch, and of course, being the first president of our individual UWISTAT club. In fact, I recognize in going through my emails how quickly I transitioned after Guild president into UWISTAT president. I sent a long email. It may have been to Celia, it could have been to Prof, to say, now that I'm no longer Guild president, I'm ready to serve as UWISTAT president. And we have 15 members, and we had our first meeting, and we're raring to go. We're very excited about the opportunity, especially to be the vice chancellor's ambassadors. And it was the first it ever happened in the history of the institution where a vice chancellor appointed students as his personal ambassador to bring his message and the message of the university. We thought at that time it was a great idea. We thought it was an idea that would stand the test of time. But as much as you think so, you don't really know until you see it happen. So you can understand that I'm over the moon and see that it has stood the test of time. And I know I speak for Fallon and Richard to say we are tremendously proud of how UWISTAT has grown. It has grown beyond our wildest expectations. It has taken on things such as climate change. I heard you talk about your tree planting project, things that we never envisioned at the time, but that is what organizations should do. They should evolve, they should get better, they should never be afraid to attack the status quo and to do a better job at their core mandate. And I think I can definitely safely say that UWISTAT has achieved all of that. And for all UWISTAT ambassadors who have served, who have gone on now to be alumni ambassadors, and we are proudly alumni ambassadors, and we say that everywhere we go, we are proud students of the University of the West Indies, one of the premier institutions in the entire world. And I have proven that time and time again, none of them are better now, no matter where them train. When you go out to any forum and sit beside them, you know that we must be proud of the education foundation that is laid for us here at the University of the West Indies. We know university is not perfect. We know university still has tremendous issues. But at the end of the day, I think we all can say that we are better people because of our engagement with the University of the West Indies. And definitely, for those of you who serve UWISTAT, I'm very sure that you're much better off because of your engagement with UWISTAT. And that's what we wanted, to create better leaders and a better cadre of leaders that could lead our university forward. So happy to be here as a little bit about UWISTAT and how we engage. And let me just say, we did all of that while having a great time. I don't want anybody to think that this was a bunch of nerds getting together to just, we don't all, I won't tell you how much we weren't nerds, but I would say that even though we had a great time, we were very focused on how we could help our institution and help move our countries forward. And that's how we saw it. We saw it as moving the university, as moving our countries forward. So I would say a couple of things in relation to UWISTAT now. And clearly, I have no reference. I have very limited scope in relation to your engagement across the campuses and a lot of the activities that you do from day to day and your ambassador corps. But the ones that I have interacted with over the years, and definitely my time as minister over the last 4 years, I've been very impressed with all of them. And I want to say to all of you, despite the difficult COVID times, there are some principles that remain true. Please be committed to service. Be committed to making things better, making people better, and be committed to leaving a legacy. It's very, very important. And I know all that we tried to do as student leaders at the time was to leave a legacy in our various capacities. We were very, very motivated about what legacy could we leave on the campus? What could we do that we would come back years later and be able to say, yes, the campus has been made better because of that. And we did that in a lot of different ways, from small to big ways. I think Blue UWISTAT is our best legacy. And it's because UWISTAT was probably unknown to us, the legacy that would impact the lives of people most, right? But it's very important that as student leaders, we think about what is the legacy that we're leaving? How are we making the university better? How are we making the people we interact with better? And if you have that as your mission, you will find that you will become better as a person. So that's very, very important. I know now, especially with the lack of engagement, you may find it difficult, challenging. You might wonder, how can you truly lead in this time? But you're doing just that. Use different ways, innovate, be creative. Right now, more than ever, students require leadership. Right now, more than ever, our world, our country, our communities require leadership. So no, it's not just a challenge, it's a massive opportunity to shine and to do well and to make people better. And I want you all to take on that task, that challenge, and not to look at the challenge, to look at the opportunity that it presents. How can you creatively, using the social media space that we really never had during our time, using all these platforms to create a tremendous impact that goes to the heart of the goals of UWISTAT? How can you continue to ring the name of the university? How can you continue to make university better? How can you bring our region closer together during these COVID times? So that is one thing I hope that the UWISTAT group is doing in general. Additionally, I would say to student leaders, remember, give respect to the people you serve. They will respect you back. Give respect to the administrators. And even when you disagree respectfully, it will all go well for your progress. It will all go well for your effectiveness. You know, when I came to UWI and as president to Cave Hill, a lot of people were very, trying to find a nice word, were very afraid of the principal of the Cave Hill campus at the time. I heard lots of stories. In fact, there was a protest during the last Gill administration against the principal, which he, effectively diffused. It was the best I've ever seen a principal treated a student protest. That's another story for another time. But when I became president, the first thing I did was to go and engage the principal to find out what was his mission, what was his vision. Did it align with my vision, my mission, and how could we make the two things align? And we had a wonderful engagement for the entire year. In fact, I would say, I don't know what has happened since, but definitely prior to, it was the most we were able to achieve as an administration worked with the student body. We got a clinic on the campus, was never had before. We got a commissary, on the campus, never had before, and all of this in the short space of a year. And that principal is now your vice chancellor. So I say to you, I know firsthand that he is really about student engagement and really about visionary leadership. So if you engage him around ideas, big ideas, he likes big, bold ideas, big ideas to move the university forward, I commit on his behalf that he will engage you. I'm very sure of that. But engage respectfully. And additionally, don't be afraid to speak up. I find a lot of our university leaders have gone a little too quiet. And you can't only speak up when the matter affects you directly. You lose your credibility. If the only time you speak is when you have an interest to serve, then, what about the other issues that affect people in general? We who get the opportunity to go to university, yes, we work very hard, but the government still does pay tremendous amounts of money to ensure that we can go. And we have a responsibility not only to look out for our own interests, but to look out for the interests of the less fortunate, to give voice for people who do not have a voice, especially for those of us who come from rural Jamaica and travel to Kingston and then don't speak about the issues that are faced in our communities back home. You have to give voice to those issues because you have a platform on which people will listen. So it's an honor to be here. I'm really enjoy being with UWISTAT. Clearly, there are two things that as I close, I have to say. One, if you're looking for a real opportunity now in COVID, the answer is agriculture. There's no if, there's no but. And I'm not saying this just because I'm the minister. I'm saying this because I have come to the realization that true professions and wealth can come through an engagement in agriculture. And now is the best time. Everybody, because of COVID, is asking how we're going to feed ourselves. Everybody is asking where the food going to come from, what we're going to do. So I say to all of us, look towards a profession in agriculture and fisheries. Agriculture has completely evolved. And it's not the picture of the man wearing the water boot in a straw hat, walking with a machete. We still have those farmers who work very hard, and we respect them because they provide tremendously the food that we eat. But agriculture has also evolved to farms where people barely touch soil. Complete aquaponics, hydroponics, computerized systems that grow food in definitely less the time, half the time. I want our young, especially our UWISTAT ambassadors, to be ambassadors for agriculture and fisheries. I want you to go out there and explore, research some of the professions that are connected to agriculture and spread the word. I want you to join me in leading the movement for our next generation of farmers and fishermen. It's very, very important. And that is one of the things I leave with you. And the final thing, more UWISTAT ambassadors should transition from student leadership into politics. I paused because I could hear the silence all over the world for the people who are watching us live. There was a time I was uninterested in politics. I left the university, I came back to Mona, and I didn't like politics. I didn't like what it stood for. I didn't like allegations of corruption. I didn't like the fact that, everybody who went into it, people would have so much bad things to say. So I stayed away from politics when I came back from Barbados. I made a complete 360. I actually joined with a group and we formed an NGO called the Jamaica Association of Young Professionals. I said I would not go into politics. I'm done with that. But as I got older, you realize that no matter how you hide, politics affects your way of life. And who leads the country makes a tremendous difference. And who is your Minister of Agriculture and who is your Minister of Industry? Those things matter. And it matters in a very granular way in your way of life. So I would say to all of you, when I decided in 2011, after I had gone to vote and I was heading back from St. Elizabeth to Kingston, when the Labour Party at that time lost the election, I decided that I never did enough that I was hiding from the politics, that I thought voting was enough. And I decided then on that drive back in, I was actually in Clarendon when a policeman stopped me and gave me a ticket for speeding. And I was so distraught. I wanted to get home so quickly. And I was saying to myself, I wasn't even paying attention. I was saying to myself, did I do enough? Did I do enough to secure the future of my country? I decided I would get involved in politics in a deep way. And within the next year, I became president of G2K. 3 years later, I became a caretaker for a seat. And now I'm a second term MP and the youngest youngest minister of government, the youngest minister of agriculture in the history of our country. A tremendous challenge. But the point is, oftentimes we don't get involved in politics because we believe that we can make a difference. It's not true. You can. And people will believe in you, will believe in your dreams. So don't be afraid of your dreams. Your dreams are valid, and allow those dreams to lead you to lead your country. Those are my more than few cents. I hope you have enjoyed. I'm sorry that I took so long, but if you allow me, I could go on much longer. Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Devon, I don't know about you, but I was completely mesmerized. I think a lot of our members in Zoom land would also feel the same way. I personally have some takeaways from Mr. Greek's presentation, and it's just really about the dreaming big and not being afraid of it, but also just jumping into politics because, as you would have rightly said, there is merit in actually being a part of the process, and you have to actually be involved to want to think about who is going to be the head of your country in the future. You can't just continue smiling of yourself, and there will always be challenges, there will always be issues, but there's always a space for you to go in, do something, and as you rightly said, somebody will believe, and if one person believes, and I think that is good enough. Just be a fireball and explode and do awesome, amazing things. And do agriculture too, guys. It's a place where we can secure the bag, and it's beyond, as what Minister Green said, it's more than just a one cow and a farmer, but it's beyond that. So I know you guys probably have your 2 cents. I have more than 2 cents. Minister Green, I think we're more than appreciative for what you had to say, and thank you so much.
My takeaway was innovate, create, selfless leadership, and lastly, you can.
Absolutely.
So moving into the awards. I know persons on Zoom is very anxious to know if they have gotten a certificate and a trophy from the UWISTAT Core. But let me say, we wish that we could give everybody. But we have to award those who went above and beyond to give of themselves to let the UWISTAT Core be what it is. Excellent. Yeah. So we're doing the UWISTAT Committee Awards. So we're going to present those persons from the UWISTAT Committee 2019-2020 who has been one who has stood out amongst the core in the different departments, communication, disaster mitigation, alumni relations, and many others. So we're presenting the certificates now. So for the committee of membership, the awardees are little technical difficulties. Sorry to rocking your nerves, guys. So we're going into the portfolio awards, and the persons under the membership committee who have gotten their certificates are yes. So we're still experiencing those technical difficulties. Just a moment, all right. So the members of the membership committee who have been awarded just just a moment. All right, so before the awards, before we undergo the awards ceremony, we're inviting last year's president of 2019-2020, Mr. Shamar Wedderburn, to give his piece of address as he hand over the family business to us, this year's committee.
Just before, the the former president takes the stage, I would just like to present to Minister Green a small token, and also to officially give him his UWISTAT Alumni Ambassador pin, just special design. There you go, you're officially, and be able to show it to the world. And a small token with some UE paraphernalia that will bring back many memories, good memories, I hope.
Excellent.
Yes.
President Shamar, we're ready for you.
All right, so people on Zoom and in the audience, please give a round of applause for last year's president, Mr. Shamar Wedderburn.
Good afternoon, everyone, members, ambassadors, alumni ambassadors, students, staff, every single person who has come here to see us this evening. So, you know, today is a very particular moment for me because it would have marked 3 years since I would have entered the institution, much like many of you, filled with enthusiasm, bliss at a new adventure. I would have never thought I would have been found a family, somewhere where you can truly, truly belong. And just looking back now, the awards and this presentation, it's a memorable, memorable sight, one I'll never forget. And you know, I thought there'd be no more fitting place to start than where I started last year. Last year I stood before scores of you, ambassadors of the UWISTAT Corps. And I stood proudly and I pronounced the words, yes, we can. And collectively at the time, it encapsulated the dreams and aspirations we all would have had when we not only started university, but the core and what we envisioned our organization, our society to be. But as well, at that time, I spoke to the masses who put their confidence in me, that it also encapsulates, yes, we can. It encapsulates the idea that the work that we do here is not on me, the president. I can't even do it with 7 executives. I can't do it with 15 exec committee. And it has to be with all of us working together. And that's the beauty of UWISTAT. And that is why for me, this is a really, really enjoyable day, because not only did we do it, but I get the chance to celebrate each of you and the outstanding contributions that you made to the Corps. I don't want to spend too long, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to get into the awards. But for this final time, let me say that for this year, 2019, or last year rather, 2019-20, and as I present some of the awards, I will laud these ambassadors for their contribution, were it record-breaking campaigns, were it international recognition, achievements that have garnered such confidence in the core, where it's such campaigns to launch, to educate students and impact. This has truly been an excellent year, one that I'll be honored and proud as I present these trophies and I see the smiles on your faces. And then I perhaps even deliver some of them to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a landmark year last year. It was. And truthfully, we are in difficult times. The future is uncertain. However, it is my belief that it is now more than ever when the UWISTAT core must continue and grow from strength to strength. And undoubtedly, even in these trying times, UWISTAT core will continue. Ladies and gentlemen, onwards to 2020, 2021.
A minute there, not I thought someone was going to cry.
The tears may come later down in the ceremony. I was holding it.
All right. Yeah, where's that? All right. Yeah, what you did? All right. Point out with some Mr. Weatherby. He was an excellent president last year. He charged us. He helped us. His committee was great, especially the membership meeting last year. She was excellent.
I agree, Devon, and I think so far we've been enjoying all of the ceremony from Mr. Green to the Peart and Mr. Weatherby, and I think everyone has some of the same presence or the same tune that we're all singing. The fact that STAT is about impact, STAT is about togetherness, it's creativity, it's moving forward, it's progression, and all these amazing words that we can use. And in short, it's just young people coming together, putting their minds together to achieve great things. And what better way to even celebrate some of those feats than the award ceremony? I'm really happy to see the members. I'm really happy to see the face, the smiles on the faces, the pictures. I know everybody might just be very happy because, as you said, good work and hard work must be truly recognized.
And somewhat, this is the time that we show the poor youth starting out, right? So we're going to do a little thing. Before we get into awards, Tamara and I came up with this game to show who is more of a UWISTAT ambassador than who. So let's see, Tamara. So my first question is, have you ever been to one of the Footprints awards?
I don't like it, but honestly, I don't like it.
Which UWISTAT,
Let me ask you a question. How old is that?
15.
Okay, that was
because they're celebrating the legacy and
advancing the family. That was so easy to learn.
All right. Next question. Have you ever served on a UWISTAT executive?
Yes, I am currently the deputy of Peart Communication. Shows us actually has been was a VP of Peart Communication.
That interesting.
Anything come on? Do you remember who is the ambassador who went away from climate change summit in New York?
He was a scientist last year.
That's not his name. Anybody in this picture? Clayton, yes. Clayton, pick up yourself anyway.
Yes.
Just for you
I was going to say Jameson because they were doing he and Shamar went to Trinidad. So I was going to say Jameson.
Almost like climate change, but it's more specific. So you're just smart.
No, man, no. Who was the VP of alumni relations last year? Because as the deputy this year, I have to bring it down.
I don't know.
There are one programming.
Can you stop now? Can you please stop? Guys, you see how Jeff putting me on the
Put her on the camera. Yes, guys, so waiting for the award ceremony to start. So this is where we're going to take a little break until we get back and present the awards and certificates to those who did tremendous last year.
Ready? I'm going to start with you, Deshawn. So, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 15th staging of the UWISTAT AGM and award ceremony. Those in Zoom and those in the audience, welcome again. And we're under the theme Celebrating the Legacy.
Advancing the family.
And now we're going to give the awards. We're going to present the awards. I know persons on Zoom are waiting an entire century for the awards, but we're finally here after all the technical difficulties. We're here in the unprecedented times, and we're going through it and figuring it out one step at a time. So going into the awards. So first, we're going to present the award for Corporate Sponsors Award for the most outstanding contribution to financial education. And presenting this award is Miss Clover Moore, who is the Assistant Vice President of the Group Corporate Affairs and Communications of Victoria Mutual. And she will be presenting this award to Tanaj Cunningham. Give her a round of applause. You can give Tanaj a few words of encouragement.
Okay. So firstly, before I congratulate Tanaj, I think our VMFET ambassadors were tremendous this year. And they got into their role very quickly, very innovative, very present at the training sessions that we had. And Victoria Mutual, as you know, is very committed to financial education because we care and we really wanted to find a way to empower students on UWI campus to understand more about money matters. And I think that the young persons that we selected did a tremendous job and pivoted very well with all COVID. They use the technology very effectively, and I think all 5 of them met their targets, which blew away their targets. And Tanaj, in particular, you're very creative and innovative. You're a great public speaker. You presented financial information in a very unusual way that connected very well with the audience. And so well that you actually hosted one of our Financial Fridays that we do on a monthly through Facebook and IG, and we got lots of really, really good feedback. So thank you for your contribution, congratulations, and we look forward to working with you this term and beyond. Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Miss Clover Moore.
You're welcome.
Yes, that's it. Okay. Oh, wait, Miss Moore, you thought that was it? So
okay.
VMFIT was a very good initiative, and we're going to call Miss Locke to present this award for you. And we just wanted to show our appreciation as UWISTAT core. We're full of surprises, you know. So we wanted to show you your appreciation and invaluable contributions to and continued partnership to UWISTAT Mona.
Thank you very much. In this lifetime? Did you have control for that?
And the next one, you know, get hang it up. Yes.
Thank you, Gary.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Moore and the entire Victoria Mutual group. So you're going into the committee awards. Tom, are you ready?
Yes, my favorite part so far. So our award ceremony today, Jevan, so everybody would know, is really about recognizing the members of the core who have really done really super well and gone above and beyond. And this is really about us extending a little piece of appreciation and gratitude. So a certificate of appreciation rather from the CARICOM committee goes to Monique Powell. Let us give her a virtual clap to Monique, and let's ask Ms. Lakeisha Locke to present this award. Congratulations, Monique.
And the next award from the CARICOM committee goes to none other than Miss Antoinette Dennis. You know, virtually. Give her a virtual round of applause, everybody.
Our next certificate of appreciation goes to Miss Sandy Miller.
Yes, and we'll also like to award Miss Zandria Roach.
Followed by Miss Deja McIntosh.
And lastly, Mr. Javane Brown. Those were the outstanding, the certificate of appreciation to the members of the CARICOM committee. Give them a round of applause for their service and dedication. You know, even though these committee members stood out, there were even more outstanding persons under the committee relations program. And we'd just like to highlight just two. And the first award goes to none other than Josie Noble. Give her a round of applause. She was an outstanding member of the CARICOM Relations Department for her excellent performance as a member last year.
And how can we ever forget Miss Patrice Clayton? Patrice was also an excellent performer for the CARICOM Relations for the committee 2019 to 2020. Congratulations, Patrice.
Yes. And now we go into the Finance Committee. Last year, the Finance Committee was one of the most important committees in our Chamois. So to shortlist these little persons must have been hard. And the first recipient of the Finance Committee Appreciation Award is Miss Bettina Lloyd. Give her a round of applause.
No, she already bagged an award, but this is what happens when excellence and service goes hand in hand. Our next award goes to Miss Tanash Cunningham.
It's all about the money, Chamois. And the next award goes to Mr. Jamoy Phillips.
And last, but definitely not least, Mr. Ricardo Ricketts takes us our next award from the Financial Committee.
And the outstanding member of the Finance Committee is Miss Chanel Graham for her excellent performance as a member for that committee.
Now, another important committee, Jevan, considering the Caribbean and climate change and climate resilience is super important. We also need to recognize these amazing persons who went above and beyond. So, certificate of appreciation for disaster mitigation and climate change committee goes to Miss Antoinette Dennis.
And secondly, the next recipient of the appreciation award is Miss Asha Brown.
And of course, we cannot forget Miss Tony and Myrie.
Yes. And the last recipient of the award is Sashara Eccleston. You know, the person that caught the outstanding performance is Mr. Javane Brown.
Now, these persons are equally important. Communications and Internal Relations Committee. They let us know what's going on, update our social media, keep everyone in the know, and it's super important that we recognize them for their efforts. Our first certificate of appreciation goes to none other than Miss Daisy Reed.
And the next recipient for Communications and Internal Relations Committee award goes to Mr. Niall Anderson. And we will ask Monique Powell to present him with this award.
Beautiful. And how can we forget Mr. Rashid Stanley?
Yeah, all the way from St. Kitts. Yes, and another contributor to the Communications and Internal Relations Committee who has been awarded this evening is Mr. James Peart. And Monique will also award him with this. Yes.
Fantastic. And our next award goes to Miss Lishay Williams.
Followed by Mr. Andre Clark. Applause, man.
Keep those applause coming because Miss Sharon Edwards also got the award for the Communication and Internal Relations Committee.
And the last recipient in this Communications and Internal Relations Committee Appreciation Awards go to Durandra Budra.
Now, Jeff, this one is a little special to me because this person, I think, is probably the glue and the gel to everybody.
Yes.
She's currently our Vice President of CARICOM Relations, and it gives me great honor to present this award to Miss Ashley Onfroy as our top performer in this committee. Big up yourself, Ashley.
Yes. And we'll go over to the membership committee. And the first recipient who has gotten the certificate of appreciation for the membership committee is Miss Christina Blake.
And our next recipient is Mr. Christopher Gale.
And the top performer for membership is Miss Rashida Reed.
Next, we have Programming and Volunteerism Committee. The first certificate of appreciation goes to Mr. Rashid Stanley, followed by Miss Kitana Crossdale. Next, we have Mr. Christopher Gale once again snagging another award for Programming and Volunteerism Committee.
And the top performer for the Programming and Volunteerism Committee goes to Mr. Chrysandrew Baker.
Now, we've gone to know our final committee now,
Yes,
Jeff.
my committee.
Your committee. Now, Alumni Relations Committee is super important, like all of them. But as Jeff said, there's a little icing on the cake just for this committee. And I'm so happy to present our first award to Miss Daisy Reed.
Next, we have Miss Rashida Williams again.
Followed by Shaniel McKenzie.
Last but not least, Miss Ashley Ann Froy. And the top performer for the Alumni Relations Committee goes to Miss Cheyenne Edwards. And another award, oh, how can I miss this? Another outstanding performer in the Volunteerism and Programming Committee goes to Miss Antoinette Dennis.
Now, this is another special award, and this person kind of got a few more before, but again, we're emphasizing that when you do amazing work, it should be highlighted, and it is being highlighted tonight. It gives us great pleasure, both Jeff and I, to present this award, the Celia Davidson Award for Ambassador of the Year, to none other than Mr. Jabane Brown.
Miss Celia, do you have any words to tell Mr. Brown?
Jabane, I wish you were here to receive this. I'm very, very proud of you. To be Ambassador of the Year is quite an accomplishment. I know that the rest of the Corps, the other ambassadors, are extremely proud of all that you have achieved. And I hope the next cohort also aspires to achieve the same. Congratulations once again.
Give another round of applause.
Thank you.
Do we Before we go into the special awards, we're going to take another special presentation from our violinist who will be giving us a melodic rendition of her song. Keep the applause going.
So it was a very special honor for me, and it was really meant that way to recognize not only our excellent ambassadors, but our excellent partners, stakeholders, our family. And undoubtedly, all the members of the Institutional Advancement Division are certainly a key part of anything that we do. And it's a pleasure, accepting on behalf of the IAP, the Director of Alumni Relations herself. I'll invite Mrs. Celia Davidson Francis to come forward as she accepts this.
Thank you so much.
Now, our next award goes to a very special person who also is like the glue and an instrumental pillar in execution of all the tasks that the UWISTAT Corps has to put on. And it gives me great pleasure to give this award to Miss Karina Dice. I'm going to ask Mrs. Francis to present it to Miss Dice for us, please. Round of applause, please.
Diane isn't here, but she's the campus alumni officer for Mona, and I know she'll be delighted. She really enjoys working and coordinating and facilitating for the UWISTAT Mona course. So I'm very happy to accept on behalf of her.
Our next award goes to a very special person. I know I keep saying that, but everyone is special. But again, another instrumental person. She has been, as I said, the glue to our excitement, our fun. She has been absolutely much involved. She's our current Vice President of Curriculum Relations, and it gives me much honor and pride to present the top performer for Communications Committee 2019-2020 to Miss Ashley Unfor. I'm going to ask Mr. Wedderbrain to accept this award on behalf of Ashley. And please keep the applause coming on time.
So incredibly, as we would also want to showcase, is that on top of all the committee members being awarded, the top performer will also, all of them will also get one of these trophies. And so we recognize them. Communication has been an instrumental part, and we celebrate all our ambassadors. Congratulations, Ashley.
Applause for Ashley.
Yes, and we will go on to present this award to the top performer in the Finance Committee, and that's none other than Chanel Graham. Keep the applause going. Mr. Dwayne Haynes to accept on her behalf. Yes, and we go over to the to more service awards, and this award will be for the top alumni ambassador of the year. Last year, the alumni cohort were much engaged and interactive, and as an ambassador, we could have gone to them with our problems, and they helped us along the way. But one person stood above the rest, and this award goes to none other than Mr. Dwayne Haynes for his outstanding contribution and representation as an ambassador, alumni ambassador, during the 2019-2020 academic year. And we'll ask Miss Celia Davis to present the award.
Round of applause.
Yes.
Dwayne is an amazing alumni ambassador, so I'd really like to give a personal note of thank you.
Yes, Miss, you can say Miss Francis. Yes. And we'll give another service award to the UAA, the University of the West Indies Alumni Association. They have been a great contributor and a partner for the UWISTAT Mona Corps. And the president is also Mr. Dwayne Haynes. So he will collect him again. Oh, don't forget the certificate and the award. Yes.
It's also great, I should just mention that the Jamaica chapter has quite a few alumni ambassadors, and this is always my dream that the ambassadors would help rejuvenate the chapters and move them along. And as you mature, there'll be more young people coming in. So I'm glad to see that it's finally beginning, and you're doing such an excellent job. So congratulations.
Just one more. Just one more.
We're kind of using Miss Davis and Francis a lot, but this award for Director Sustainable Innovator goes to none other than Mr. Clayton Mitchell.
So Clayton, congratulations. Clayton, as well as Asha Gay Cowell and I went to the university, the Columbia University last year to represent UWISTAT and the university in climate change initiatives. And I'm very proud that he has received this. I'm sure he will continue to do great work in the climate change field. So congratulations.
Yes. And the persons who were the top performers who got their certificate, these awards for you. So we're just going to say the name again for the top performer in the programming and volunteerism. That goes to Mr. Cassandra Baker. And the CARICOM committee goes to Miss Patrice Clayton.
In programming and volunteerism, Miss Antoinette Dennis. And in membership committee, Rashida Reed. Followed by Climate Change and Disaster Mitigation Committee, Mr. Javane Brown. And to close off the awards, the top performer for the alumni committee, Ms. Cheyenne Edwards.
Yes. And we go over to the Deputy Vice President of the Year. And this person is being recognized for their most exemplary service and dedication as a UWISTAT Deputy Vice President. And that person is Chanel Graham. And Mr. Wedderburn, I'm here in the Zoom celebration. Mr. Wedderburn.
So, as the president for the 2019-20 year, I would have had the pleasure of working with all vice presidents and deputies. And interestingly, this award is a special one because Chanel has been magnificent. She has transformed and overtaken the roles that she would have had to do. And we all on the executive are really, really pleased to have her amongst us every single day. And it's an honor. Thank you again. Congrats, Chanel Graham.
Shamar, we're going to ask you to just be on standby yet again because we have a very special award, Vice President of the Year. Now, equally as how Mrs. Davidson Francis could be the God recognized as the mother of UWISTAT Corps, in the exec last year, this was kind of for a mother bear or go to the person you want to talk to, have a problem, a query, just for any assistance. This person was on standby 24/7. Her service is obviously being recognized today because she has done her work through and through. And it gives us great pride to present the Vice President of the Year award to none other than Miss Lakeisha Law.
Woo! Yeah.
So I'm presenting this to Miss Locke, who will not speak long. However, the VP of the Year award is one of the magnificent ones every year because it not only recognizes excellent performance in a portfolio, but to the team. And I think having served with so many excellent vice presidents, the choice is very difficult. However, Miss Locke stands out because not only her excellent performance of the portfolio, but she's a true vice president at heart, was taking on the leadership when she had it, and therefore I have no better person to award.
Look at virtual ceremony.
This is for Chris. No, the President's Rising Star Award. This person has already been.
All right. All right. So we'll move on to the Ambassador Designate of the Year. So as an Ambassador Designate, we have to undergo a process of training, rigorous process of training that only helped us in the long run. And the person that stood above the rest for the best performing ambassador during the induction period is Mr. Cassandra Baker. And we'll invite Ms. Locke to give him this award.
Round of applause to Mr. Baker.
Oh, man.
Congratulations, Mr. Baker. You are truly an ambassador, and I hope you continue being an ambassador on this journey of life.
Yes, and now we'll recognize somebody who gave unwavering dedication and outstanding. He actually left his legacy with the UMONA Corps. He charged the family business with nothing but sheer excellence and distinguished everything, honestly. And the UWISTAT Trailblazer Award, the UWISTAT Trailblazer Award, drum roll, big award, big award. The UWISTAT Trailblazer Award is presented to Mr. Shamar Wedderburn. Give him a round of applause. And I know that Mr. James Peart, the incumbent president, will present him with this award.
It was definitely an honor to have Ambassador Wedderburn, or no, alumni Ambassador Wedderburn as our outgoing president. Over the year, he has shown us a different style and a different level of leadership in which can transcend and everyone of us as former vice presidents and deputy vice presidents, and even going into becoming the president for this academic year. I hope to live up to the family legacy that he has created. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, all right.
So we got a little sentimental a while ago, but the tears might keep rolling because this award is going to be presented to an absolutely amazing and outstanding individual. Her leadership, her excellence, her character, it speaks volume, her contribution, as you see in the numerous awards she's snagged. And I think it's just amazing because we have to recognize true effort and true leadership and hard work. It gives me great pride to present, well, not me, but Mr. Wedderburn, to present this award, the President's Rising Star Award, to Miss Antoinette Dennis.
So for me, and it's incredible that I wanted or envisioned rather where yes, we can means all of us working together. And I think this award is actually my favorite award of the night, not because it says president, but because it awards and it recognizes the significant impact that the people we have here have made. Whether you are first year member and a significant drive and commitment, and to not speak too long, I'd say definitely, we had to even have this award because Miss Dennis not only recognizing and distinguishing herself in the training period, has definitely, whether it's engaging in initiatives which she, as a first year member, has taken over the entire school's mentorship program into her own, taking over Footprints Hall walks, taking over initiatives that truly propel staff, and she is a significant part of our successes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to present the President's Rising Star Award.
Okay. That closes off this segment. It's an honor to see everybody being recognized for their great accomplishments and service. But there's no better way to close off an event without some entertainment. And with that, we're going to have the Steel Pan again, giving us an awesome rendition of one of your favorite songs.
Well, just before the steel pan takes us all, we have one more award that needs to be presented to none other than Bemona Social Services. I'm going to ask Mr. Dwayne Haynes to collect this award, please, on their behalf.
So, Dr. Burke, collecting this award on your behalf. I know that you and the team at Bono Social Services has been very instrumental to the work that the university does, because we're not just here as a community to serve the students and to serve staff, but we're also here to assist those we can. So I love the work that you're doing, and clearly UWISTAT as well. Love the work that you have been doing. Congrats on this phenomenal work.
Hey. And without further ado, we'll have the steel pan. Yes, sir. Thing. Like when they done, we lock it off, we close it off, and sit and say, come in, blah, 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 blah. Don't. So we can come together as one thing without all the glitches. So Jamoy and Ashna no longer in the board of I think she probably I forget the voter time for me. So Shana done it. Yeah.
Moment it wasn't about that. Rag? Oh, wait, hang on. We're going to have the water plants.
you guys did a good job.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna ask them to record it and then we have something to write.
Yeah. Right, she look boarding schoolish. I'm gonna forget about work that
Tonight?
me I'll go come in this fame. Me need to fix up my table. Maybe aesthetize my table. See, someone over there, AJ. So.
Go back and see.
My hunger.
You're smart enough.
All right, guys, thank you for that performance. We were dancing in here. I don't know what the Zoomland persons are doing, but we're going to have the vote of thanks because if it wasn't for you guys and you guys here, this event would not be successful. So we're going to welcome last year president, Mr. Shamar Wedderburn, to give the vote of thanks.
Awards. From our committee awards to the annual awards, service, and our first ever special awards, I want to take the time out to say thank you for the persons who are here, persons who have facilitated our program here, persons are excellent guest speaker, our founder and Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Honorable Green. We thank our partners, our stakeholders, the persons who have been with us all our journey. I thank our members, our ambassadors, for any victory is yours and ours. And lastly, but definitely not the least, I am sending one more thank you and congratulations to our honorees of the night, our awardees. You have epitomized what UWISTAT is about. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you an excellent evening. Thank you once again.
Round of applause.
There you have it, the 15th staging of the UWISTAT AGM ceremony. It has been a wonderful ceremony. I'm happy to be a part of this legacy because we're going to continue to celebrate the legacy
And advance the family.
I'm Javon Gordon.
And I'm Tomoy Campbell.
And we're glad to be your host for this evening. Thank you. So we're going to jam out to the steel pan as we close off the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you guys and good night.